Believe, my friends, believe, because day one of the BGT, if you have to go anywhere by it, we all thought first two sessions India had not bossed it. But Jasprit Bumrah, cheat code Jasprit Bumrah, bowling like a player possessed. 4 for 17 and Australia staring right down at the barrel, 67 for 7. Still trailing by 83, and it was the contest of which batting unit would struggle more. Australia's has struggled much more on their backyard. I mean, Steve Smith gone for a duck. If you look at it, Marnus Labuschagne for 50 deliveries, he could have ended out for a duck, but then 2 runs. Only if you look at it, Alex Carey, to a certain extent, looked settled. Apart from that, everybody else was blown away. And that's why, if you have to look at it, who is on top at the end of even day one, because 17 wickets have fallen. You have to say it is Jasprit Bumrah and his team who are on top at the Optus Stadium. Australia shell-shocked.
I expected you to start with, I only believe in Jassi Bhai only match.
No. See, this is a very false narrative. Everybody chipped in.
Yeah.
To understand that, it's just not about Jasprit Bumrah. Bumrah had taken 4, but the rest of us also chipped in. Mohammad Siraj took 2. Yeah. Harshit Rana got the key wicket of Travis Head. What a wicket to get for your first maiden. It's a team sport. It is not an individual sport. Yes, totally spearheaded by Jasprit Bumrah. Partnership that, if you look at it, that partnership that Nitish Reddy and Rishabh Pant had, that might prove to be pivotal in the entire chase now. So that's why Australia are looking absolutely shell-shocked. Bumrah could have had a 5th, but that chip that came, that slower ball of a good length, he just stabbed it a bit too softly, it just fell in front. Otherwise, it would have been 67 for 8, but still advantage India after the end of day one of the BGT. And one of the favourites now, barring a spectacular implosion from Australia, and they'll be left with no fortresses. Because we all felt that Perth would be the new fortress. No longer. It might crumble, but now day one's ended, India's still on top. Gentlemen, the floor is open, and he's only stuck on Bumrah, but I believe the trio that were there bowled very well, and complimented Bumrah very well in that sense.
No, everyone definitely bowled terrifically, but after the batting performance by the Indian team, if you started to believe again, it was Jasprit Bumrah. To begin with, I think you start the batting to get those top wickets early on, I think, to put that pressure, because runs, just 150 odd runs. We have to remember, as soon as they would have gotten to 20, 30 odd runs, then the pressure would have automatically started to come on the Indian team. But what Jasprit Bumrah has done is, he has put that pressure on the Australian batting lineup, and from there they started to crumble. Mohammad Siraj definitely, to begin with, did not look very pleasing, but this was a very big reason why I wanted him in the side also, because he knows the conditions there. If there's a senior player in this team after Bumrah, as far as the bowling lineup is concerned, it was Mohammad Siraj, and he definitely proved what he can actually end up doing. Harshit Rana, like you also mentioned, a good first wicket. To have Travis Head, who could have given a headache, would have been a problem. But Jasprit Bumrah has definitely started to make us believe again, and I would give 90% of the credit to him, because like I mentioned, 20-30 odd runs and on the top without any loss of wickets, then all the pressure would have been India, and then India would have had to gone on a different plan. The field would not have been that attacking, and suddenly runs would have started flowing, because 150 runs are absolutely nothing to defend as a first innings total.
Well, absolutely. I think if one of the predictions that I made early on today, and I was, talking in one of my cricket groups that we have on WhatsApp, that both teams are going to bat today. And that's something that truly happened. Yeah. And the way this test match is, unfolding, let's be ready for another 2.5 or a 3-day finish. That's for sure. But if we have to come back to the performances...
So much for economics, isn't it?
Yeah, so much for economics, to be honest. But I think if you have to come back to the performances or the displays that we have had today, I think India's batting, first of all, to begin with, before we come to the good part, before we skip to the good part, I think India's batting is a big cause of worry. Like, even if you are... let's say, you bundle Australia out for 80 odd or 85 odd, you'll still, have a lead of about good 60 or 70 runs. But then I'm not sure whether, whether the batters can really capitalize on it or not, maybe, you know, that's a different discussion altogether. But then, and coming back to the bowling, remarkably good spells. Hardly a ball that was, you know, bowled in an area wherein you thought that, okay, you know, there would be, you know, consistent boundaries. They aren't really sticking to the template or the lines and lengths that they should have. That was not really the case. I was specifically very impressed with the way the first 13 overs were bowled. Like the first 78 or 79 balls, out of which, and I'm sure that, you know, we all were there, you know, upstairs and watching it, out of those 78 or 79, you know, opening balls, almost 50 or 60 out of the deliveries, you were like, oh man, a wicket is going to come. Oh man, the wicket is going to come. And that was the thing that was like, you could really, you know, get that vibe at that time that India are bowling at a different level. And obviously they are led by someone, I think, who is going to be more than aggressive as far as his bowling is concerned, Jasprit Bumrah. Usually we say that, you know, bowling captains are aggressive. They may not really look like aggressive from the outside, say maybe a certain Pat Cummins or so. But then what Bumrah has done today, I think it's truly remarkable. What it has done is that I think it's obviously put India in the driver's seat. But what I've specifically liked, you know, towards the latter part of the this opening day is that I see a lot of Virat Kohli's involvement here. He's trying to, you know, come up with those strategies. Maybe he's the unofficial vice captain of the side. And with him, you know, just trying to be in the thick of things and trying to talk to Bumrah and the bowlers, I think this is something that India would need also going forward, not just in this test, but for the next few test matches too.
You speak of Virat Kohli and his participation. Yes, of course, you wanted the maximum participation from him with the bat. Unfortunately, wasn't the case. But even then, I think he was making up, and I totally agree, in the field with his with his chirpy side coming to the fore. He was willing to have some good time out there in the middle and give it to the Aussies and be the aggressor that he's known to be. But coming back, and I like
do you think that he was I don't know, like, because we have gotten to this, I thought that we'll get to this later on, but because we are on it, I personally felt that, again, I could be very, very wrong, but what I could understand was that I just felt that he was trying too hard to be the Virat that he used to be. Maybe
with the bat or in the field?
No, in the field in general. Because see, again, the catch also that he dropped, I think what I could make of it was that he just hurried on with that catch. He took that catch, he sort of hurried with the celebration. In that sense, what ended up becoming the reason for dropping of the catch. So maybe he's not the same Virat anymore, and he doesn't need to do that in that sense.
I don't quite think this is the case, or I won't say that he was in a hurry, because I've seen, you know, we've seen it in the IPL as well. Virat's dropped catches, and I think you know that stat very well. So Virat dropping catches, again, yes, he's a very good fielder, and that can mean that, you know, he's good at cutting out that extra run in the field, and he does that very often. He is, you know, perceived to be somebody with a safe pair of hands, which on most occasions is the case. The ball does seem to like him a lot, which is why it travels to him all the time. Dropped the catch, but was the one to catch
Usman Khwaja.
Yeah. First time he was dismissed by
Jasprit Bumrah.
In over 30 overs.
Yeah.
So, again, yes, he comes in with that reputation, but we've seen Virat drop dollies too, and this was quite a dolly as well. He didn't have to move much. But yeah, just the one thing I want to point out as well, I don't know if you guys heard it on the comms, because he was so animated and he was, you know, involved in everything happening in and around the stumps. Harsha Bhogle, I remember saying that if it was left up to Virat Kohli, New Zealand would have been, Australia would have been bundled out by now, because for everything, Virat Kohli was going up in the air, his finger was up, and he was excited, and it's good. I personally liked Virat's involvement. He may not have gotten runs, but he matters.
But that is never a surprise when it comes to Virat Kohli. I mean, when you look at intensity on the field, when you look at all of that never went away.
Yeah.
Even in his lean patch, sure, he doesn't have that aura anymore when you look at it. With the bat, when he was dismissed for 5 today, dropped a catch. So, if you look at it holistically, it wasn't a great day for Virat. But as far as chirpiness of the field is concerned, the aggression is concerned, giving all those, I mean, he was the one who told Jasprit Bumrah, take it. The DRS.
Review. Nathan McSweeney.
So, we know that this is Virat and he will not change in that sense. So, I am like wondering, When did he ever change in that? And see, I agree that he had a very mortal day. I mean, 5 and a dropped catch. Anybody else would feel very down. But as far as the situation is concerned, look at when Bumrah was bowling in that zone. Every delivery going away, coming in, going away, coming in. The maximum cheer could be heard from two guys, Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
So that is why you see every delivery in that first spell of 6 overs that Jasprit Bumrah bowled. Hardly any loose deliveries. Hardly. It came in with the angle, zipped through, and let us be very clear about it. This pitch doesn't have that many demons. It's just 2 batting units that are making it look incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Because look at the dismissal. Classic Harshit Rana. Harshit Rana's dismissal of Travis Head. If there was banana swing, if there was lot of movement, Travis Head would have missed it, and
But
the ball would have also
Squared up.
It was
All
still
ends
a
up.
good ball.
Yeah.
So that was a good
great
ball.
but minimal movement.
But what I'm saying is it was still a wicket taking delivery.
Yes.
It was still a wicket taking delivery. But again, the other batters, the way that they've gotten out, failing to read the line at times,
Yeah.
that's been Australian batters have been guilty of that, not being able to read the line very well and adjust. So that's where I think they've been guilty. But coming back to India, because again I wanted to share my 2 cents on India's batting, as we talked about as well. It's happening time and time again, and this is call for worry. This also, what I was checking on my phone was, I remember saying this during the innings break as well. Just want to confirm, this is at this stadium the lowest first innings total. Now, this will be historic in many ways if India are to go ahead and script a famous victory over here with that kind of a total. And not too often do you see a team winning the toss, opting to bat first, get bundled out inside 2 sessions, then win the match as well. So there's plenty of records on the line for India, and at this venue, which is the modern age fortress for Australia. Yes, 4 matches only.
I know, that's where this marketing bit of a fortress is absolutely overhyped here. I mean,
I get that.
Okay, which is more overhyped before we come to the topic? Baseball or Fortress?
baseball. The biggest hype and the biggest faux pas in the history of marketing, and when you look at cricket. Fortress, I mean, 4 matches. I can understand the GABA. That was not breached for 34 years, 33 years. But 4 matches and you make it into a fortress. By that sense, our Arun Jaitley Stadium is the ultimate sentinel. It's not been breached for nearly 30 years. So what do you do then? So there is a way how you market stuff. There is a way how you go about it. But yes, I took the fortress bit at the very beginning in a very negative way. This isn't a fortress because only 4 tests sold. Optus, the Waka was, but then that got breached in 2008, and also South Africa never lost under Waka. They won 2 games there. So Australia doesn't have any fortresses.
And in a nutshell, if I was to sum up what we've seen today, on a true surface, if there are 17 wickets that get, if there are 17 wickets that fall on day 1 on a true surface, then the problem lies in the batting.
Of course, both batting
Absolutely.
units.
Simple as that.
I think as far as the batting unit's problems are concerned, I feel the Indian batting was little more as far as that is concerned. I think the Australian batters looked much more terrible than the Indian batters, and again I feel the reason for that was Jasprit Bumrah. He was absolutely bowling like a machine, and I'll tell you why. He was on a consistent line and length. Everyone was playing for the short ball against Jasprit Bumrah. What he did was he started to bowl on the full. That's exactly how he got Steve Smith out. Steve Smith was ready for the back of length for a shortest delivery, and he outfoxed him by giving him a ball on the good length. After that, Usman Khwaja, for quite a while, he understood Jasprit Bumrah was very accurate with his 4th stump line, and he was so accurate that he got the big 2 or 3 wickets in the beginning with the same consistent length. After that, when he realized that Usman Khwaja, what he did to tackle that was he started to walk a little bit more. That trigger movement, usually Usman Khwaja does not walk so much. He started to walk from the off stump to the middle stump a little bit more. The precision of Jasprit Bumrah, he adjusted to that as well, because it's very little adjustment that you have to do, and Jasprit Bumrah immediately did that. And why I'm saying that he bowls like a machine, because if sometimes as a bowler you need time to adjust to new lines, new lengths. But as soon as if the line length wasn't as perfect as Jasprit Bumrah, Usman Khwaja would have come to know that this is what he's going to do now. But on the first ball itself, he adjusted to that and he got Usman Khwaja on. He bowled on the 5th stump, seeing that Usman Khwaja is treating the 4th stump as his off stump, and he got the wicket of Usman Khwaja. So it's just absolutely crazy.
With the Steve Smith bit, okay, there is a technical flaw that England exposed in 2019, okay. Because of that trigger movement that he has, okay, Steve Smith was not shaping up for the back of the a short ball. No, that's his stance. What Bumrah did was he angled it in and there was inward movement. Now with Steve Smith, that flaw is he can't, because of that shuffle and that stance that he's got, he can't counter that inward movement.
Correct.
That's what Chris Wokes did very brilliantly in the Ashes of 2019 and even in 2023 to a certain extent. Most of the most of the England bowlers did that. So Bumrah knew that Smith, because of that stance, I just need to get one in, trapped, plumb in front, and that is why it was brilliant
the
awareness.
decision to do that on the first delivery itself, that
Yeah,
is something
that is
that
the
is
thing.
very, very important.
Correct.
Because
Brilliant game awareness, that's what I would say, and also remembering, yes, there is a problem. So
yeah, and to execute that on the first delivery itself, I think that is even more important, because as soon as one ball, two balls, first ball, it's very difficult to have feet are movement, but batters like Steve Smith need very less time to adjust. So as soon, just if not the first delivery, second delivery, third delivery, you never know. Steve Smith could have countered that. So there are so many bowlers who take the whole series, they end up getting into their rhythm, realizing the right lines and lengths so later in the series, later in the games. But with Jasprit Bumrah, it's just absolutely like it looks like he's been playing in Australia and he knows the right line and length from the first ball itself.
I mean, see, he's got an average of 20.2 in not just Australia in his test career, which is greater than even Malcolm Marshall.
Siddharth,
Yeah.
it's the best. I was looking through his numbers. It's the best since his debut.
Since his debut. Yeah, he is.
126 of his 173 prior to the start of this match, or his wickets 70% away from home.
Of course, I mean, see, that is.
Such is the greatness of this
I
man.
mean, Sena beast. I mean, when you look at it, except for New Zealand, he's not played much. He's only played two test
matches, yeah.
He will get a chance in 2026 also, because that's when India are going to New Zealand next. But then ask South Africa, how many times have they faced the wrath of Jasprit Bumrah? Ask Australia, Melbourne, Perth, wherever he's gone, he's really terrorized them. Then you look at England, so many times Bumrah has terrorized them, except barring one or two venues, he's terrorized them everywhere else. Look at Lords, look at that particular place where he's really right up there, short ball, and then the England batters are made to feel hell for.
So am I getting 3 other signatures on this petition to have Jasprit Bumrah declared as a national treasure, for him to be put
absolutely
in a treasure chest?
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
see, there was never a doubt that he's a cheat code. Okay, there's never a doubt, because when he bowls in a T20I, the opponents get only 16 overs to chase down the target. 4 overs of him, he's just impossible to get away with.
I read this thing on Twitter. This guy said that, again, it was a dig at the Indian batters, but he said that just imagine if these batters had to play against a Bumrah. Imagine the mess that Indian batting would have been in.
Look at Virat Kohli. You saw that one game between Mumbai and RCB in IPL 2024. Virat looked clueless against Bumrah. Absolutely
Even though he
clueless.
plays him in the net. So
At Wankhede, that too. At Wankhede, you saw he tried to back away, but then Bumrah followed him. Edge gone. He was absolutely beaten for pace. He was absolutely beaten by the length. I did not get any indication of how the Indian batters would fare. The greatest of them all struggled against the greatest of them all when it came to bowling.
And we also have to remember that all these, the average that you're talking about of Bumrah in Test cricket is in the day and age where batters are have most of the advantages as far as game conditions, balls, wickets, bats, all of these things are concerned.
Yeah, so see, Bumrah is the ultimate, if you look at it, as I said, an outlier amongst all the modern
Ultimate
bowlers.
GOAT.
Yeah, he will be considered as the GOAT when you look at the numbers 4-5 years even down the line also, because he.
With him, you only pray for longevity.
Yeah, I mean, see,
That's the only thing.
He's going to turn 30 soon, isn't he? I think he's 29.
He's 30. He's already 30.
He's already 30,
Yeah.
okay? 5-6 years more, he's going to be having. See, this is now the peak. Even Dale Steyn achieved this peak about 30 to 32, 33.
Dale Steyn had a peak from his debut until 2014.
Not Not really. I mean, it was from 2006 onwards. He debuted in 2004.
Okay.
6 to 14, he was sublime. Now we are going to see 5-6 years of Bumrah's dominance because he can adapt to any condition. Even in India, reverse swing. Look at the Olipop dismissal, the Yorker, take the pitch out of the equation. I bowl a Yorker. Game over. So that is the thing, man. You have to wax lyrical about Bumrah because he is the lone, what we call it, the stitch that is binding that big gaping wound called the Indian batting.
It's
Because look at it. I mean, if Bumrah's 4 wickets were not there, Australia not 67 for 7, they were 67 for no loss. Then we would be absolutely going after the Indian batters for their insipidness. But what this pitch has done, and that's why this is not a typical Perth wicket, of course, exaggerated by 2 very poor batting units. Even when the ball was old, you're still getting a bit of movement.
Exactly.
That is the Perth wicket because it's cold.
yeah. It got dark as well towards the end, as we saw.
But that is obvious because it's the shadows will lengthen. The Optus is huge. So that's why even by 2 o'clock, you'll start to see the shadows lengthen there. So the La Nina effect. Okay, I'll tell you what is the La Nina effect got to do with Australia underperforming each and every time. When they lost 3 tests on the trot against England, I mean 3 tests in the home series the last time.
2011.
Yeah, Ashes. The La Nina effect was there. And what that happened? Pitches were different, weather was different. Same here. Read reports on the Perth test weather before that. The La Nina effect was going to neuter all the kind of preparations that was there. So, what happened then? This pitch, normally with the Kookaburra 15-20 overs, then it would get easier to bat. Here it was becoming difficult because it was colder. The pitch didn't deteriorate much. Plus, it's a very heavy outfield. That's why you're not seeing too many boundaries also.
Correct.
So, no chance of reverse swing also. Now, pitch assisting movement every single time. Look at it, 27 over 67. From 15 to 22, they just couldn't score a run. La Nina effect, pitch not crumbling, it's not that hot, so bad. It won't become that easier. It's only going to get tougher. So, Australia have faced one of the elements to ensure that, okay, they are in this position, and plus, we all felt like it's the India of the 90s. The real batting would start on number 6. Hey, I mean, number 5 is head, Marsh, carry. Cummins to a certain extent, but when those 3 fail, there is no plan B for them. And it was Mitchell Marsh who saved them, Pat Cummins who saved them against New Zealand. Against a disciplined bowling attack, Shamar Joseph took 7 and exposed their frailties. The last good batting that Australia had was Sydney. That was in January against Pakistan. But then after that, you're seeing, and Adelaide to a certain extent, but that the West Indians themselves shot themselves in the foot in that sense. But now, in this 2 matches you're seeing, can Australia be considered WTC defending champions? Will they make it to Lords? I don't think so with this kind of a batting unit that they've got. And remember, they've got 2 series. 4 now after this.
And Sri Lanka.
2 Sri Lanka. Extremes. If the pitches are here, Sri Lanka is the other extreme.
So are you proposing an India versus an XYZ final, which is not Australia?
It's premature.
You're expecting South Africa Sri Lanka final.
But no, that's not possible. No?
Yeah.
That's not possible. And see, this is only day 1 of, again I repeat, day 1 of 46 in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. There are 46 days to go to determine whether India will get the Border Gavaskar Trophy back, whether Australia will take it back after 10 years. There's still 46 days more. Day 1 is only over. But today it is all about India getting that belief back after 3 horrible tests versus New Zealand because of your cheat code in Jasprit Bumrah. It's a celebration of Jasprit Bumrah.
Has the belief returned, you feel?
The belief has returned to only a certain extent.
Exactly.
Correct.
Certain extent.
Exactly.
I'm not going way ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still not too sure about this test match only, as of now.
Of course, nothing can be said. This is like India go in, but
We're
let's be
almost
honest.
halfway through the test
Of the three sessions to have been dominated by Australia, let's not forget.
1.5.
No, 2.
1.5 each.
You took T Siddharth after India got dismissed.
But at least Nitish
No,
Kumar
I tell
Reddy
you
and
what, now in
Rishabh Pant did
hindsight-
play
In
well.
hindsight, if we look at it, because 150 runs at this point look a really massive score. That's why I think 1.5. But to begin with, if we were just talking about at the end of the second session, at that time it was clearly
Of course,
Australia.
of course.
True.
See,
But now I think you're right. Now
The match is, I agree, man. It's like a 50-50 situation right now.
I would say 60-40
in favor of
India.
India.
Now look, but then see, India's real problems, if they don't want to exaggerate it a bit more, it will actually begin now. Because what is the one thing that India have never done well in the past, especially in Sena countries? Bowl the tail out, blast the tail out.
You know, I was thinking about the same thing, and I felt that the tail, because the runs are so less, you just need one partnership to, even if they trail by 20, 30 runs, then automatically I don't think the game will again be on 50-50. But because even if Pat Cummins has gone, I'm not too sure how long will a Mitchell Stark last, and then Josh Hazelwood and Nathan Lyle, you cannot
They can hang in there. They
Hang
won't
in there.
get in
Yeah.
runs. But then see,
That's-
in Brisbane 2014-15, Steve Smith's partnership with Mitchell Stark ensured Australia got a 100-run lead.
Mitchell Johnson.
And even Stark, Johnson, Smith, everybody combined.
That's
to
second
ensure.
Brisbane test.
How much trail do you think would be India happy with?
I think if India can,
Like trail, yeah.
around 50 runs should be okay for India.
Agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
40-50.
And then
Yeah.
That will be
how much-
advantage
What
India.
target would you
At
be
least
comfortable
200. At least 200. India will need to
think you need
score
250.
Yeah,
plus.
at least 250.
I think anything around 200 is too risky. 250 gives you like
200 will again ensure that our mental strength is free. What you have to
200
do
again
250.
is asking your bowlers to do exactly what you made them do in the first innings. You want to give your bowlers some breathing room. It has to be around 250, 270.
Exactly.
Agreed, agreed.
Exactly. It has to be in that range.
That will leave you in a safe space, obviously.
Yeah, but already 17 wickets have fallen on day one. Now that's an indication you're not seeing a 5-day test match.
Yeah,
At Optus
3
anyway.
at the match.
Yeah, I mean tomorrow will be your moving day. Instead of day 3, day 2 will be your moving day. You'll come to know by day 2 stumps tomorrow whether who holds the advantage. At this point in time, it is still India who holds the advantage because your captain has gotten you back into the contest in a big way. So that's why kudos to Jasprit Bumrah, kudos to Mohammad Siraj. We all felt that okay, he looked a bit off rhythm, but then the second spell he was simply too good. And Labuschagne missing that. See again,
I've
pace.
never seen Manas Labuschagne, struggling like this much in Test cricket. I've never seen him struggle this
I
much.
saw it in the WTC final. He scored those 43 runs.
Yeah.
It was but he got so many blows.
Scratchy, yeah,
Very scratchy, but then it worked.
exactly.
It worked. Here it didn't work.
You needed to play out that phase.
Yeah.
That's the
But
point.
then that's the thing. Playing out this phase can be like a double-edged sword. I mean, just ask a Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid tried to weather it out. He would play 20, 115 balls, but then it would never work in most cases. Here in Australia, you have to have a mixture of proactive and defense. Something which Pant had. Something which Nitish Reddy had for the time being. Yes, very fortuitous. He got a glove. Australians didn't appeal.
Yeah.
So that's why he was very lucky in that.
That was,
aspect.
by the way, Manas Labuschagne was the only one who was confident at that time.
Even Smith.
Yeah.
Steve Smith also. Then, yet again, if they had listened to Manas, then the damage would have been maybe India all out for 120. Who knows? Anything could have happened. So that's why that partnership was key. Smith falling for his first duck against India after nearly 4 years in Australia. Last time he got out was 2020 in Melbourne. And that's why with Smith gone, Labuschagne
To always start in the absence of Rohit Sharma, given the way he was practicing. Devdutt Patikal impresses in MCG. No, he didn't play
he played in the intra-squad game.
intra-squad game. Impresses over there
He scored an 80 odd in Mackay in the first unofficial
in the
game.
first. Yeah.
Not in Melbourne.
And you pick him.
Yeah.
23 balls, gets out. What do we make of that?
Well, let's see
How
the
did he look
second
for those
game.
23 balls?
I don't think he looked anywhere
didn't
near
look
to
into
being
the
comfortable at all.
Yeah.
That wasn't really the case. I think his dismissal was properly set up by Josh Hazelwood, who clearly showed his experience. Initially, he was leaving well and he was pretty much doing what KL Rahul was doing, which is to have his bat very close to his pad and obviously in line with his helmet also, with his head. But then, you just entice him a bit, fraction movement, he goes for that drive. There is no feet movement, and then you get an outside edge, and that's what usually happens. In my opinion, I think both Yashasvi Jaiswal and Devdutt Padikkal, they made a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
You can probably do that, if you're playing in Mumbai Maidans. Now that's going to be a different thing because there's going to be no seam movement or any movement whatsoever. But here, I think they could have bided their time.
Okay, just a simple question. We'll get back to the debate a bit later. If no team, supposing in all the 4 innings, they don't cross 150, you think this pitch will be rated poor?
It shouldn't be.
Or was it just absolutely atrocious batting?
It was fine.
Well,
At the moment, you don't see any demons in this pitch.
There are no
There is
demons
no
at all.
reason to cast any aspersions on this pitch right
it is. It is doing typical Perth things: subtle movement, extra
Less than what
pace.
we expected, in fact.
Exactly. I was like, by now, if I go back to the time that the two teams played here in 18-19, there were blows on the head and other parts of the body. Right now, I can only remember Labuschagne getting hit in the
Twice,
chest.
yeah. And on the stomach.
Yeah, but and the short ball hasn't been used as intimidatory a tactic yet because there's so much movement here that you're getting, or just enough movement from the pitch that you're getting, that bowlers aren't having to resort to the short ball, as was the case in 18-19 where you bowled short and you got the batters out bowling short balls, and the occasional fuller delivery would then take you by surprise at times.
Suddenly, when you're talking about this now, I got reminded of a Eureka moment. I mean, even Sid Gulati would remember this test match. Similar kind of a situation. Australia versus New Zealand, Hobart.
Oh, that 2011 David Warner test.
Yes.
Doug Bracewell.
150.
Yeah.
New Zealand managed under these kind of very tough situations.
Australia all out for 135.
136.
Yeah.
After that, New Zealand tried, they got to 200. Australia chasing 241, out for 7 runs. I mean, they lost the test match by 7 runs.
And Australia at one stage was 78 for no loss.
Yes. I kind of get a vibe
Yeah.
out of this test match because looking at the page, even Hobart, continuous movement. They had left a green. I mean, it was difficult to distinguish what was the outfield, what was the pitch.
Correct.
Stark, Siddle, then who else was the other one?
Nathan Lyon was there. There was Ben Hilfenhaus.
No, was it Hilfen?
Yeah, Ben Hilfenhaus was
No,
there.
Stark was there. Stark, Pattinson,
And Siddle.
Siddle,
Yeah.
Lyon. Okay. They were getting movement. Pattinson got 5 wickets, 150 all out. Australia fired even worse with Bolt, Saudi, Bracewell all doing well. Somewhere down there, you have needed only 3 bowlers who have done the damage. Australia are facing a very similar situation that we are looking at. So, if India want to ensure that they do it, they need to bat very well in the second innings. If that happens, say you get a total of 250, a lead of about 270, 280. Then chasing on this deck is going
It's
to
not going to be
next
easy
level.
because any which ways, Australia have to bat 4th here. It's not going to be easy.
So that is why, which is why I get a vibe of that test match more. 2011, New Zealand versus Australia at Hobart. So it's gone that way so far in the first 2 innings. Let's see how it pans out on day 2. So, boy, I mean, Jasprit Bumrah. It will take some delayed shock to figure out what he's done, the magnitude of what he's done. So, a cheat code. 19 average in Australia and 20 in his career.
Yeah.
Good. Believe in Bumrah. That mantra should be repeated 7 times over. Believe in Bumrah, believe in Bumrah, believe in Bumrah.
So coming back, Devdutt Padikkal, any other thoughts?
I think, see, let's wait for the second innings. If he scores some valuable and say 30 or a 40 in tough situations, I think then he's once again had a solid introduction to Test cricket because he hit a 63 in flat decks in Dharamshala. But here, if he scores a 30-40, I'll then reserve my comment on that.
Shashwat?
Nothing specific again because I know he's just a stopgap arrangement, and I was expecting him to do well in Australian conditions, but I just feel that to begin with there was a lot of things. I think the Indian batters more in their head, the conditions played on their head, so I think that was a thing that went against Padikkal as well.
Okay.
But let us remember one more thing. It's just day 1 of a first test. You still have 4 more tests. Tougher tests will happen. So we are not getting ourselves ahead, but it's a good start. It's a good start in the BGT for India, and Jasprit Bumrah leading the way with a fantastic 4-wicket haul. He could get a 5-wicket haul tomorrow, but India has to blast the tail out totally.
Correct.
Then and only then, even if you get a lead in excess of even 50, even if a lead of 50, if Australia don't cross 100, then totally it is advantage India. So wonderful, wonderful situation that is there. Praneet Datta, don't see Sid smiling now, India on top. Which stream is Praneet Datta watching here? I mean, either he missed the start, okay, because I was all waxing lyrical on Bumrah. That conveniently they will never focus on. That's why unfair. This is very, very unfair. Dhanush, 2-day pitches in test. 2000s era easy batting test? No, not really. I think this era is seeing the worst of batting. Honestly, when you look at it. It's seeing the honest way when you look at it. Amardeep Grewal from Australia saying JB needs to play smart with workload. I think he has played himself smart. 6 overs he bowled 4 overs here. He's getting a break. Tomorrow also he'll bowl in short bursts. And he's making it count at this stage. So that's why I think he's already started well playing smart with the workload, because he knows he has to play all 5 tests for India to have any chance. So, yeah, he started well in that. So, Ashish Dhar, I believe this test match will finish tomorrow. That's asking a bit too much, but then let's see. India should get a lead of 60 runs and score at least 125, 135 runs in second innings.
I don't think that's really asking for too much. Even I feel that to an extent this could get finished tomorrow too.
Test match.
Possibility, yeah, but not too much.
But my only point is that if this game is to finish tomorrow, then the team that's probably going to win this test match is definitely not going to be the visitors.
Obviously. Oh, okay. So you are suggesting, that Australia will get bundled out for under 100. India does even worse, and then Australia chases down. That's what you're suggesting.
Let's go back to Adelaide 2021. You had a 50-run first innings lead.
Yes, you had, and that you had 36 all out. I don't think history is repeating itself.
You stood a good chance of even winning the Adelaide Test also, had it not been for the 36 all out.
Absolutely.
You had a lot of, but then again, see, let's understand one thing.
That's why I said.
I'm not ruling that possibility out.
Can happen. If it happens, then we'll have lots more to talk about then. Okay, it can happen. But a 2-day test, I don't think.
Also, that
You never know.
see, 36 all out I still believe had a lot to do with the pink ball as well. Red ball, 49 we've seen.
Yeah, 46.
46, sorry.
But you got
46
all out
we've
before
seen.
the lights even turned on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you got, I think you lost 3 wickets in night.
Correct.
And the remainder fell
During the
In the day, yeah.
So that
Usually when
Three. I think just one.
Prithvi Shaw, there were 2. Prithvi Shaw and I think Mayank Agarwal also
I
fell.
think there was just one, because I remember Jasprit Bumrah was the
Night watchman, yeah, he's correct. 9 wickets,
I
yeah.
thought it was 2 wickets had fallen. Then the night watchman came in, he batted out, and then he fell. And
He fell the next day.
yeah, first over, I think, he fell to Cummins in that sense. So that's the thing. Alex Sellis is saying this nonsense. Bumrah being a cheat code needs to stop. He's an amazing bowler, period. But boss, a cheat code in this sense means he's an amazing bowler only. Semantics of English language, my friend. Semantics.
Cheat code is something that gives you an advantage in the game.
Exactly.
Exactly what
And that is-
That's what it means.
Are you not into gaming, Alex? I'm sure you must be. So, actually, Freaking Awesome is saying actually this is his best venue. Marnus Labuschagne at this point. 300s in 3 tests, but not in great form now. Yeah, I mean, only Usman Khwaja, Alex Carey, and Mitchell Marsh to a certain extent have been in form. Everybody else has been under 30 in this BGT, in this entire WTC cycle, which is why there was one more comment which said that Australia got a reversal of Pune. What India did to Australia in Pune, Australia is doing this in Perth, and they're falling into that. But let us be very honest about it. That Pune wicket was manipulated. Sachin again became a sandpit. This isn't a sandpit. This is a true wicket. Perth has given you pace, bounce. It's only your batting which has made it look even more terrible.
Correct.
Both teams. Australia even more so. So, any other comments? Parth, I know, I can understand it, but
Let's take Shiresh's comment. Nitish Reddy looked comfortable. Time for Yashasvi Jaiswal to step up tomorrow. I think that's what it's going to be for India. You don't really have to look at just one batter to get a good 70 or 80 odd or maybe 100 there. I think 20s, 30s from the top 6 or 7 I think should do the trick for you. But that's where you have to get them, because the idea should not really be to hang on this pitch. just maybe by the things are really going. It's not really the most toughest of the pitches to bat on, but then just score quickly, and that's going to put you in good stead.
Yeah.
Suraj is an interesting one. He says that I think Jurel should be promoted up the order.
Not a bad idea.
But who do you ask to push down?
Devdutt Padikkal at number 6 and Dhruv Jurel at number 3. Because any which ways, KL Rahul played really well today when he opened the innings.
Did?
Yeah, he scored a good 26 odd.
He looked in good touch.
Yeah.
He looked solid. He looked compact.
Yeah,
Amongst all the top order batters, he looked compact.
He was your one of the top 3 batters today for India.
He was number 3.
Yeah.
So that is why. So it was Nitish Reddy top scoring with 41, Rishabh Pant with 37, and KL Rahul with
Jasprit
23. So
26.
that is why it is going to be a big situation. Batters, batters need to be proactive against Hazelwood, and he should be unsettled with his line and length. I don't think it is possible on this pitch, because if we try to be proactive, a wicket is there for the taking.
And like he showed today, he'll bounce you out.
Yeah, it is not that
It was
Hazelwood
very
is in that
smart, by
metronome
the way,
channel.
on Hazelwood's part. Again, while we do, sort of believe that Virat is struggling right now, but credit has to be given to Hazelwood there as well for just pulling the line a bit back. And yes, he got lucky to get that extra bit of bounce.
Yep.
But again, you try ways, as Virat Kohli was trying different ways today, by the way. You see, and as you would have, if not seen, you would have read by now, that Virat Kohli was standing unusually far away from the crease today. While he does sort of stand close to the crease or just about there today, it took you, at least it reminded me of the time in 2018 when trying to negate the swing in England. He took that guard which was away from the crease, which was far away from the crease. Today also, he was standing away from the stumps, away from the crease a little bit. But even if you try and do those things, if you try and unsettle, let's say, somebody of such high quality as Hazelwood, well, guys like him will continue to find ways of bouncing you out, getting you out.
He's a smart bowler, yeah. Josh Hazelwood isn't a one-trick pony.
Correct.
He's been your prime leader of the Australian attack for a decade now, because he's a very smart operator. And Stark may get most of the wickets with his pace and bounce, Cummins accurate, hostile, but the guys who build the pressure from the back are Hazelwood and Nathan Lyon.
Correct.
That's why this quartet has been so awesome, and they're all seasoned bowlers.
And that's why more than anything, I think India will really have to counter Josh Hazelwood tomorrow, because remember, in the past maybe 5 years or so, Hazelwood has been responsible for 2 of the major collapses that the top teams have had.
5 for 3.
Adelaide 36 all out and England 67 all out Manchester.
Oh yeah. But then even remember, when England were dismissed for 67, they
Ben
still won that
Stokes.
test match.
Yeah, true.
And India, if you look at it, again, it gives me Hobart vibes of 2011. So let's see. Now we have to go to Shivamgiri section.
Absolutely.
Shivamgiri section, because today it's been flooded with memes. Absolutely. So, from the morning, yep.
Yeah.
सुना है जायसवाल बहुत talented है, talented तो पृथ्वी शॉ भी था ना. Ouch. Yes, Stark dissected Prithvi Shaw's technique, and his former coach,
Ricky Ponting had called it.
yeah, he called it, and that's why it's happened. And today, yeah, but I think it's too premature for Jasprit.
Yeah, but
I think he made a rookie mistake.
it's just,
It's just social media doing Shivamgiri things.
Relax, he's going to get a couple of centuries, this BJT.
ICC Umpire of the Year, Richard Illingworth.
that was a TV umpire.
Yeah. But now when you check the replay and now looking at the technology that they use, it was actually the right decision.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Siddharth, it may have been,
not
but the due process should have been followed. There should have been convincing enough evidence for everyone to have seen. Right now, I understand you try putting all images together, you do sort of get a feeling that maybe this was the right decision. But because the on-field decision was not out, you needed something conclusive, substantive for this controversy to not have erupted in the first place.
You can check out the video that I've done. Why this erupted? Why this technology is in place? Why man-held cameras are there in Perth? Because Australia doesn't use Hawkeye. It's a simple thing. So check out that video. Hawkeye is not in use in this BGT because it's Australia. There's a different software. So check that out. Why it's not. So
And this is, I think, sort of mean, I would say.
net practice देखने के लिए इंतजार कर रहे हैं.
No, let's just move on. Yeah,
Skip
you
this,
can
yeah,
skip
right.
this.
एनजेड ने बताया तुम स्पिन नहीं खेल पाते, अब हम बताएंगे तुम फास्ट भी नहीं खेल पाते. First inning so far is proven to be right, but yeah.
No, even New Zealand gave an indication that you cannot, you struggle against, pace. Even Bangladesh gave that indication at
Yes, the first session.
Chidambaram Stadium. Yeah.
Yep. Indians watching BGT commentary and visuals.
Yeah, did you guys notice this in the
off.
morning?
Yeah, it is off.
It was out of sync. It was out of sync.
Oof, as nothing surprising.
No, the feed is coming from Fox and the commentary is here as of now.
As of now, but then still, it looked quite off.
Okay.
रोहित भाई की कमी महसूस ना हो इसलिए जल्दी आउट हो गया. नहीं यार,
That's mean, Shivam. Yeah.
that is mean. Yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, see, what if he scores 100 in the second innings?
Yeah.
And he could.
Match winning 100. That will be a match winning 100, hands down.
Yeah, he would have done much better than Rohit.
Chalo, next one.
Yeah.
Next one.
Next. It is very mean. Yeah. Mean.
Mean.
Meme?
Mean meme.
Still this saying Australia thought they can get India out under 50. Let's laugh at the Aussies.
You know where this comes from? The time that India got all out for 46,
Yeah.
Cricket Australia had put out a tweet.
Is 46.
Or, yes, exactly.
But it was true. Who gets bowled out for 46 at home? Who gets bowled out for 46 at home? It was the lowest of low. I mean, sorry, 46 in Bengaluru is lower than 36 Adelaide. Because you can.
Yeah, 36 is 36.
36 is 36, but 46 is
46
lower.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because who gets it out at home? India, the dominant side.
This is a good one actually.
is a good one.
हाँ भाई होगी team under pressure. तू ये shot देख. This was a beautiful
Yeah,
shot.
very good shot. Bent all the way for 6.
He bent that knee, that dodgy knee, and then scooped all the way for 6 to fine leg.
Probably,
Next,
yeah.
next, please.
I will be very slow reading that.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. Oh, okay.
ये क्या हुआ? But
पता नहीं यार, next
say
one.
what you are doing.
Next one, next
ये
one.
क्या हो गया?
ये सब क्या हो गया?
ये सब क्या हो गया? Yeah.
I will imitate that later.
Ah, this is a good one.
Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood are nothing in front of DSP. Only batter to remain not out today.
Mohammad Richards.
Mohammad Richards, Jonty Rhodes, Michael Holding Siraj. Yeah, official DSP Siraj not out, Baki sab out.
No, but I think he bowled beautifully in that second spell. Yeah, got those crucial
You
wickets.
wanted him to go out.
I was having my lunch, he gave me a call. I was like, yeah, Gulati sir, look at
This is the
Siraj's
worst
spell.
thing. If people are doing something, you shouldn't call and do all this.
No, it was good for him to call.
but
Yeah.
still, people are having lunch, people are having some.
No, he was upstairs while he was bowling.
No, second spell he was
No,
downstairs.
First spell he was upstairs.
First spell.
And he was going
And he was
after-
upset, yeah.
He was not just upset, he wanted him to go out midway.
I was
the game.
I was
And
not
he
very happy.
after him.
See his
That's
form.
why I specifically called it.
So-
I hope you're watching.
Yeah, I was watching.
So he had to eat humble pie. So that's what he was having, na humble pie.
Yeah.
I was just making sure if he's happy.
Credit where due.
Of course, humble pie.
Yeah.
Gautam Gambhir, right now, I am only believing Jassi. Gambhir might be, he might escape with the team selection because India could very well go on and win it. So, yep, Gautam Gambhir, he does believe it right now. And this is going live viral because of this. I am only believe on Jassi Bhai because game changer player he is. Only one guy,
Jasprit Bumrah.
Never any doubt, never will be in any doubt.
This is a good one, Shivam.
उठो खाओ देश का नाम रोशन करो सो जाओ.
Like, there's only one man who can do it as consistently as he
Yeah.
It's like Brock Lesnar.
There's
Eat, sleep, break the streak.
Conquer, repeat. Yeah.
Conquer, repeat. Okay, I only believe on Jassi Bhai because he knows where to stand. But then if you look at it, in that BGT,
You won.
you won.
2-1.
And there you lost the World Cup. So this, they made mistake.
WTC final.
WTC.
That should have
Yeah.
been.
This is WTC.
No, this is BGT.
BGT.
Yeah, that image is wrong. It should have been
Bottom right should have been
WTC. Ah.
Cummins, Rohit, and that WTC miss.
Yep.
What's wrong?
Indian parents won this and making about 7 for BGT.
Yeah.
कोई हाय रे
कौन है ये? आरती की
थाली
थाली
लाओ रे. कौन है? Look at the spelling.
Yes, those were the cricket fans this morning for you.
Cricket fans have to brush up on their spellings. बाकी सब तो आउट हो गया, आप रह गए because I'm DSP official Mohammad Siraj. Oh, well, those rank jokes are always going to make the round
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single
yeah.
time he steps out. Yep. So good on him. Good on him. That's it. End of Shivamgiri. Yep. Okay. So, yep. That's about it. We will call it stumps. Even here also,
It should be stumps.
we will be back for more because you can check out the videos that we have done, especially on the KL Rahul bit, the social media reactions, why technology, the different technology used in Australia went against KL Rahul, plus
Correct.
all the analysis that we've done and all those things, you can check it out. Plus, biggest talking point, and tomorrow we will be back whenever there is a major update. Maybe India get a lead, we'll be live on that, and after that. Dugout, we will be coming to you
Stay
live.
tuned. There could be a post coming up.
Yep, there will be a post coming up 6:30 p.m.
Let's
IST.
see. Let's see.
Yeah, so if this post match we are teasing the dugout also. Yes, so join us then. So from me, Harshit, Gulati, Shashwat, and me, it's bye bye. Please subscribe to Sports Today because you'll get all the information and all the latest updates, fast updates only if you subscribe. So subscribe, like, share, and continue doing it for the next one more year because more action-packed cricket coming up. Bye bye.
Arre, 1 year and beyond.
1 year and beyond. I know. Cricket-wise. 2025.
Sport
I tell you.
never stops.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.